Hello everyone, it's me, your friend Kara. It's March 26th, maybe? 7th, I believe. This is the 15th day that we've been quarantined. Today's the day I had to ask myself the hard question, like, what am I willing to risk my health and safety for? You know what I mean? Like, we haven't been to the store at all. Haven't been anywhere. Haven't cheated on our social distancing one tiny bit. We have had groceries delivered, but I try to limit it. You know what I mean? Like, I try really hard to make sure it's like just the essentials. And frankly, as a person with a tiny bit of an anxiety disorder, and not to brag, but I was ahead of the curve. So by the time everyone else started making giant grocery orders and hoarding things, I already had my stash, which you can see in the background, right? Here, see it? That's a series of 60 containers I bought to store my extra food. I don't think I can be accused of hoarding though, because I didn't get like 100 rolls of toilet paper or anything. I just got, you know, peanut butter, oatmeal, beans, rice, parched corn. No, that's from Little House on the Prairie. They don't have that anymore here. Actually, they do at this place called Penn Alps in Pennsylvania, where in more normal times, my mother and I would meet to exchange Avery for long weekends, but I've been there for a while. Anyway, back to my original story. It's Friday, it's payday. We're super bored with everything, so I was like, I'm gonna Instacart some stuff. And I sort of did it over a period of time, you know, like I didn't want to get too much stuff. I'm always worried about whether or not it's even safe to get stuff from Instacart, but, and then I was just in a hurry, so I was putting stuff in and not really paying attention. And here's what we ended up with. Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Kettle chips. And hell of a good French onion dip. Croutons, because salad doesn't have enough carbs all by itself. Boom Chicka Pop white cheddar popcorn. Now, I don't know if you eat Flaming Hot Cheetos or you eat Flaming Hot Cheetos and don't tell anyone, or you've never had Flaming Hot Cheetos. Let me tell you something that's really good. Flaming Hot Cheetos and white cheddar popcorn mixed together. It sort of like dulls the pain and it makes them last longer. Anyway, it's good. Plus, popcorn is a health food. It's a whole grain. Just saying. Speaking of whole grains, we are on our third family-size box of Cookie Crisp, aka the only cereal my child's ever eaten. I'd say it's okay because she eats it with milk, but she doesn't. She just eats it dry with her little cute fingers. So that was cool. Anyway, I'm an Instacart order. Also 2 bottles of conditioner because, man, do I need some conditioner. What else was in there? No, that was pretty much it. I've already suffered through the disappointment of ordering this lovely, like, the bougiest grocery order ever of milk and meat and produce and like 2 loaves of artisan bread from this place that was like a CSA, but it was kind of a conglomerate anyway, and I felt super, super smart for ordering it. In fact, I only told like 2 people about it, and I was like, I'm not going to tell everyone this because I didn't want them to become overwhelmed. I had this beautiful box, like $100 worth of food. The milk was going to come in a glass bottle, which I was very excited about. And then over the like 3 days before I ordered it, they were like, oh, we're not gonna have produce. And 2 days before, they're like, oh, we're only gonna have a little bit of meat. And then the first day before, they're like, oh, we're not gonna have any meat. So essentially, I paid $30 for like 2 things of eggs, a thing of milk, which did come in a glass bottle, which is very exciting. Although now I don't know what I'm gonna do with that glass bottle, but I guess we'll figure that out. And 2 loaves of bread, because sandwiches just aren't carby enough. That wasn't as good, but you get my point. I was keto before this, and now I'm just like, nah, fuck it. Oh, I should have put the language warning up again. Whatever, you're expecting it at this point. What else can I tell you about this week? I told you about the mustard in my hair. I've lowered my expectations significantly for what we're supposed to accomplish this week. Oh, I should have brought them over. I used to have these lists from the beginning. I've made a list, turns out, every week of what I expect Avery to get done during the day. And the first one had time blocks, like 30-hour minute blocks. And like, oh my God, it was insane. It was like 9:15 to 9:30, meditate. Sorry. Just like no one can meditate when I'm on my morning huddle call. Like that's just impossible. And my child doesn't meditate anyway. What 10-year-old meditates on their own? That's just insane. 10 to 10:30, math worksheets. 10:30 to 11, math games. But you know, this week I downgraded it to reading 1 hour, math 30 minutes, clean something. And let me tell you, she cleaned my room and she did a spectacular job. Put all my laundry away, cleaned everything off the dresser. I don't know where anything is, but does it matter? What do I need? Move your body. We argue a lot about what this means because one thing I know for sure is that divorcing my child from her screens once this is all over is going to be quite a process. Create something. You see, that's wide open. It could be a puzzle, a game, a drawing, a note to someone. It's basically free time that I get to decide how much I want to enforce. It's a nice little catch-all bucket. Piano. I bought an app to help her practice the piano. Connect with someone new, friend and family. She totally ignores me on this every single day. And learn something new. Again, a little catch-all bucket in case I don't have it in me to make her actually do something. She can be like, I did learn something new. I learned the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody started in 2005 or whatever the fuck. Oh, heck. And then here's my list. Daily list, Kara. Number 1, don't get fired. Don't get fired. That's my goal at work every day. I mean, I have other goals, but that's the overarching goal. Number 2, count toilet paper rolls. Ha ha ha. That's funny, but no, I seriously do inventory my stuff all the time. But you know what I don't know? Like, how many cans of beans and pounds of rice do 2 people need to survive? I don't know. Clearly, you can tell we decimated the snack section first based on my Instacart order for tonight. Try not to cry until after bedtime. True confessions, I have yet to accomplish that. I cry at least a little bit every day. Sometimes after bedtime, but often before. Sometimes on calls, sometimes in the bathroom, sometimes when I'm cooking dinner, sometimes in the bathroom, sometimes on calls, sometimes after bedtime. It's not like a lot of crying, but it's a lot of bouts of small crying. And it often happens when people ask me how I am, or there's a lot of like, not whataboutism, but, you know, a lot of like, if anyone says they have it bad, 51 people want to jump in and be like, it's not the Pain Olympics. I'm like, well, no, but that doesn't mean that we're all like hoeing the same row either. You know what I mean? So I've cried a lot about that. I've cried about being impatient. I've cried about being tired. I started taking those sort of like little trauma naps, you know? It was a big escape hatch for me. I mean, I've always just been able to fall asleep easily if I get stressed out, and I finally, it was good to realize that it was the stress that was making me take naps and not early onset COVID, which is what I assume every single time I sneeze or cough or feel something hurt. Thank God I had a Facebook post pop up in my memories today that was like about how I panicked that I was sick and we were all going to end up, I was going to have to call off work and we were going to get fired and end up homeless and have to give the dog away and blah, blah. And I was like, oh no, right. Spring allergies, because I've been sneezing a lot and it's terrifying. Okay. Breathe in and out. That's both a COVID response tactic and also just, it's good self-care, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. Deodorant, optional, frankly. It's mostly so I can do this last one, which is hug the child, without her really suffering through it. You know what I mean? I did shower today, but it had been a little bit. And there was a time this week when I asked her how long it had been since she had taken a bath, and we both just literally had no idea. It had been a while. Anyway, so those are the lists. Those are the crying. I made hot dogs and macaroni and cheese for dinner one night and served it on a paper plate. I felt really good about that. Ordered a produce box that had no produce in it. Oh yeah. After she built her Fortress of Solitude earlier this week, I was mean about something, and out of guilt, I ordered her a tent, like a canvas teepee tent to put up in her room. And so that came, and we did that tonight, and I think it's hilarious that while we're social distancing, she felt the need to build an entirely separate dwelling unit within my home. But at the same time, I understand the impulse. I'm not going to say it's wrong. Also this week I was on a work call talking about the new coffee maker that I got, which is it's a single, it's a sad single person coffee maker that makes one travel mug, but it's just really pretty color of blue. It's kind of like this color blue. Aren't those cute too? Anyway, and instead of calling it a 1-cup coffee maker, I called it a 1-hitter. And someone on the call started laughing so hard that they had to take themselves off camera and mute. And it was one of those things where like half the people had no idea what I was talking about, and half the people really did understand it, and now they feel like they know something more about me, but they don't really. But by explaining that, I would have had to explain too much. Anyhow, you know how it goes. Anyway, so it's Friday night. Looking forward to the weekend. I was going to make a joke about what plans we have, but I can't. I just can't. Good news. I'm going to start seeing my therapist on Mondays on the telephone. And it's right when Avery has the one thing a week that she likes to do, happens at noon on Zoom. So I feel like I'm going to be able to do that. Maybe I'll take them in her tent. That'd be an interesting concept. She talked to her teacher for the first time this week. And so hopefully they're going to talk more next week. And I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. And yeah, I think got big plans tomorrow. I think I'm going to pull the area rug up in my living room and get out the bottle of Goo Gone that I found when I panic cleaned out from underneath my sink, and see if I can get some old carpet tape residue off the floor. I know. Can you believe it? Doesn't that sound exciting? I haven't publicly complained much about this yet, but before we shut down everything, the whole world, you know what I mean? We had to cancel the Perfect Liars Club show for the month, and I had secured Alexandra Petri, my idol from the Washington Post, R. Eric Thomas, very, 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 very funny man whose book just came out. It's called Here for It. And also Hannah Rosen from Invisibilia. And I hadn't gotten the 4th one yet, but I had some ideas. It was going to be like the best thing ever. And then I was going to go to London and Paris with my mom and my daughter, and I was going to turn 45 there. And now, yeah, no, I'm not going to do any of that. But I have milk in a glass bottle and Cookie Crisp, which is probably where this evening is headed for me. I'm going to stay up late tonight and sleep in tomorrow. At least as in as I can without figuring out what Avery's going to eat. Although, hey, she's learning everything so fast. She did make herself some toast this week. And that's it. It's been a long 15 days. And I feel like we're maybe, like a quarter of the way through it? Does that sound right? Anyhow, you guys, your comments and reactions to this make me really happy. If you want me to do anything special, you can ask me to. I kind of liked that Moana song, and I'm going to try to edit this so that it ends with a TikTok that Avery and I did on a bike ride this afternoon. Been riding jump bikes, which feels a little bit like it's going to kill me, but you know, I hose them down as much as I can. Hashtag Silkwood shower. Anyway, night. See you tomorrow. I will survive.